it's the original Frostbite back again. Today we have a special treat for you. A friend of mine who we're going to just go ahead and call Forrest for now until we figure out a good name for him. It'll either be Forrest or Ucantseeme. Propositioned me, not sexually, but just for the idea of
what are you talking about?
doing a game.
This guy here.
A game podcast just to talk about some things that are on our mind. And so that's where this came from. So if it turns out well, we're going to go ahead and try to do this on a weekly basis. If it's terrible, then this could be the only one that you get to hear.
Yeah, this will be it. This will go under the vault as, hey, we tried it, and this is where it is.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first topic, I guess, would be what you're currently playing on, what games
or anything,
you're currently playing.
Pretty much anything.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Boy, I'm playing a lot of stuff right now. So I'm a big Galaga fan, and this month is Galaga 35. This is the 35th anniversary of the game. Released it by Midway, Namco Midway, 1981. So I've been playing a lot of that on the Xbox One, on MAME, on Xbox 360. So they're having an event next week at level 257 in Schaumburg, Illinois. So I'm working on seeing how high I can get my score. Right now, it's not going very well. I'm just doing some general practice.
Well, what's your high score currently? Did you make it over a million?
I haven't made it over a million yet. I'm trying to. I've got on MAME. I'm currently, I think it's 850,000, and I could have gone higher, but the kids came in the room and they tripped the cord, and I I lost connection.
Oh man!
So I know eventually I'm gonna get to a million, but I've been playing that. I've been playing some of the Battlefield 1 beta. So you've been playing that. So what are your thoughts on that, Mr. Frostbite over here? What are your thoughts on?
I enjoyed the beta. I played it for PC, and I think I played maybe 6 or 7 rounds. And I don't have like a super high end gaming PC, but I could run everything like on high. I think it was, and it ran pretty well, and it looked nice. The particle effects that it has for like weather, like so when you're playing the one level, that was the one drawback is you only have one level, but I get it because it's a beta. But like when the sandstorms would come in, and like you couldn't see, like if you were in a plane, you couldn't really see the ground at all. That was really neat, and then just the amount of cover it kind of provided was interesting. Overall, I mean, it's still the same exact formula. I mean, except there's a stupid horse with a sword that you can use.
No, I thought the horse was cool.
I couldn't get it to run, so all I was doing was
trotting.
Wait a minute. Trotting along.
So you say now when you say you couldn't get the horse to run, you mean you couldn't get kills off the horse?
I couldn't run. I couldn't go fast on the horse. I couldn't figure out because I'm using a keyboard and mouse. I'm not using a gamepad, which when I move. I'm typically a console gamer, and when I upgraded my PC to work with my pinball cabinet, I got a new video card. So then I started playing PC games again, but my skill set is gone for keyboard and mouse. Like, I'm an idiot. Like, my brain just freezes like when I'm hitting the buttons because they're used to a gamepad now. It's a travesty.
You can configure the controls.
Well, I couldn't get the controller to work with EA Origins, but I could get it to work with Steam. So, I played Mortal Kombat on my PC, and it's great. Mortal Kombat X. Anyways, we're just getting off topic a little bit.
No, we're fine. No, so what did you enjoy? So I'll tell you what I enjoyed.
Well, let me finish mine.
Sure, go ahead.
I enjoyed there was the when you get to choose a plane or a tank, like. If there's one available, you get to choose your tank. It's not just what's there. You get to choose what plane you want to use.
Right.
I thought that was really neat because then if you get good at one, you don't have to worry about someone else always stealing those fighter pilot planes, which I'm not good at. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really neat. With it only being the one map, the map was okay. I'm terrible at sniper, so I felt like I had to like always run around, and try to avoid the open spaces. don't know if anything like really jumped out at me besides the particles and the storm coming in, because before that never happened. It was always the same thing every time, right? And
Right,
they're
sure.
saying that this will change, so we'll see if it lives up to it. So I don't think it's a day one buy for me by any means, but I'm sure I'll pick it up, maybe for Christmas or something like that, or if I find it on
Yeah.
sale for $30.
Oh God.
So
I
what did you play? Did you play on PC or did you?
I
play
played it on my Xbox One. Things I liked about it. Some of the things you talked about. I like the vehicles. I like being able to get into a tank. And I've never been a big Battlefield fan. Player. I've been mostly just Call of Duty, but I've never really got into Battlefield. So I picked up the beta. I did enjoy the vehicles. I was terrible at it. I was not very good at flying. I could not get the flying controls down.
No.
As soon as this is me,
Yeah.
as soon as I got into a plane, I'm gone. I mean, I couldn't figure out how to. I mean, as soon as I got in, I was wrecking it. I was flying to the ground. I was flying to a mountain. I wasn't killing anybody. That was. I mean, I wasn't shooting anything. No, I did think it was cool that you could you could shoot from the plane. Like
Yeah.
you could have somebody else in the plane
that
with
was,
you.
Yeah, I enjoyed.
I thought that
a
was
lot.
cool, and so I was sitting there trying to take out planes, and then I got knocked out.
Yeah, it's amazing how good some people are. At
I don't know
flying
how they
planes,
get.
'cause
I don't.
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine, and he was able to go 34-4. I'm like, what are you doing?
On Battlefield.
On
1?
Battlefield 1 beta. I don't know how he was
Jeez.
doing it, and
We need to recruit him
I-
for
he-
our,
or
for our
something.
game
He-
drain Battlefield 1 team.
or something. I don't know, but he was really good at it. But
That's cool.
yeah, things I didn't like. I thought the maps. And this is typical
It's
Battlefield.
only one map though.
It's only one map,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
my critique of the map is, and has always been with the Battlefield games is, the maps are huge. It was a very large map.
Yeah, that's
With a
what
lot to
people
cover.
like about Battlefield.
Yeah,
though,
and it's
so,
like an all out war. And
yeah.
usually when I play Call of Duty or I play another different type of battle game, like a Gears of War or something, like
Sure.
you're going to have more of an environment to play on.
Well,
You can better communicate with your team.
Yeah.
When you're in this type of setting, it's just huge, and I'm not used to. And that's
Yeah.
probably me not being used
Yeah,
to it.
and that's. I don't know if that's. I guess for you not playing that style, I don't know if it's necessarily a flaw. It's just a
Right.
different design choice to where Battlefield. I mean, and it's amazing. As big as that damn thing is, you'll be running, and all of a sudden you get
Right.
sniped out of nowhere, and you're like, "What? I'm always out." Like I was saying, I always felt like I was out in the open, and I enjoy the bigger maps. Whereas Gears and Call of Duty and all those series for the multiplayer, it's all meant for Twitch style gaming
Sure.
and quick reflexes, and that's fine for what it is. And there's some people who enjoy that, and there's some people who don't.
Right.
I would say that I enjoy the Battlefield series far more than Call of Duty, only because that was my first entry into first-person gaming. And when we played Battlefield 2 on PC back in the day, I mean, you're talking 2003 or 2004. It was just amazing to
That was
know
a
that you
great
could
game.
go
I
do all
played
that
it.
stuff.
Good
So,
game.
yeah, I mean, I can see what you're definitely saying. But yeah, that's, I guess, to each their own.
It's
you
not
know,
going to be a
what they
day one buy.
prefer.
Yeah, and just as you were saying, it's not going to be a day one buy for me. It's going to be something I'm going to. It's good if it calls Black Friday $30,
Yeah.
or if it goes on sale. Okay, I'll pick it up then. Maybe
Yeah.
if it goes on sale after Christmas, I'll pick it up then and play it. But other than that, so playing that. So Galaga, Battlefield 1, Mario Maker. My kids, I come home from work. My kids beg me to play 100-man challenge expert.
Oh, sure.
Oh man, I tell you what, I'm getting farther though. It's getting farther. There's 16
You're a
levels in
glutton
that.
for punishment. I don't
It
know
is
how-
hard.
I
My
don't know how you
kids,
do it.
my kids love watching me play that game. It's probably their favorite game to watch me play. They don't necessarily play games quite yet at their age. They're
Sure.
3 and 7, but it's coming soon. But they do enjoy watching me play and watch me suffer. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know what
that's probably it. The anger and frustration that you must yell out, the obscenities.
Yeah,
They're
that is
We
a
got to hear a swear word.
people are mean. People
Yeah.
put invisible blocks where they shouldn't be, and just I can't tell you how many times I skip levels.
Sure.
It's probably skip. You know, I
Yeah.
just
And
it gets tough.
And
It
that's
gets really
the
hard.
thing. Like, I remember playing, and I'm not currently playing Little Big Planet, but when I did play it, like, you would just find some amazing levels, and you're just like, it must have taken forever to create it. It's so well thought out, and it's so good. and themed well. Like there was a Batman one that was so neat, and that's about the only one I can remember. I think there was even Super Mario tributes in it, and they're just so well done. And then you find those ones that are just not just garbage, but they're intentionally like frustrating for whatever reason, and that's when I just turn it off and I don't play it.
Yeah,
I can't. I don't play games to. I mean, I get frustrated with games. I mean, if anyone
sure.
listened to my last stream of what is it, Lords of shit? I wish I could remember Lords of the Now. I don't know. I just played it. I'll put something in there. Lords of something. Lords of the Rain? No, that's some guy I know. Anyways, like I'm just bad at it, and like the thing's kicking my butt, and I do get irritated when I don't feel like my brain is smart enough to beat a game anymore. But those are like at least, like I said in my video, I said I'm not gonna play it again. Like I tried it out; it was free for PS Plus. I said I'll try it out. Man, I wish I could think of the name of that game. It's driving me nuts. And after I was done, someone commented on the video and said, "You can do it. You need to just plan, your attacks better." And they didn't say it was as hard as, man, my brain's going blank here. It's a hard series.
Yeah.
No, there's a series that they don't help you. Oh gosh, whatever the damn game is. But there's another game that's synonymous for being hard.
Okay.
Man, I should write these notes down. Anyways, so then I was like, all right, I'll give it another try. And so I beat it because I got better at it. And that's very satisfying. To play a game that's just absolutely going to torment you the whole time, and then maybe 1 out of 100 times you'll get through it. No thanks. I mean, and that's those Super Mario Maker levels. I wouldn't even attempt them.
The Mushroom Kingdom is very unforgiving. No. It's the Mushroom Kingdom that people create is not fair.
Yeah.
And there's some people I watch on Twitch that they're able to get really far. And
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls?
Yes.
Oh god, that game is so hard.
Dark
oh my
Souls
god,
yeah.
I have watched people play that, and
yeah.
And what's scary is I've seen people speed game it, watching people speed game that, incredible.
Oh wow.
And they're glitching it, and they're also speed running at the same time.
So they're cheating.
So
this
they're
conversation's
cheating.
over.
Okay, but
this podcast is over. We do not enforce or condone cheating of any manner.
Okay, cheating, but small glitching here and there. Small glitching, and mostly flying through the game. Through the game.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about what we're playing. I didn't really say much.
Well, I talked about what I was playing. You didn't talk about. I pretty much took over.
No, you're fine. Like I said, I played Lord of the Now or whatever that game's called. It'll come to me, and I'm going to shout it out in the game in the stream. Just playing some old games because I'm trying to get game drain kind of going. So doing a GTA little series where I run from the cops.
And I gotta tell you, I've watched a couple of your videos. They're hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if they're hilarious.
No, it's like it's crazy. It's the cinematic.
How bad I am.
No, the cinematic effects are pretty cool with what you've been doing.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome to watch.
So the cinematic camera is just a fun take on losing the cops.
I'm entertained
without the normal view. So I do recommend people checking that out. That's fun. And then I actually got into Counter-Strike because of an intern we had. I think his name's Chazzy P or something like that.
Okay, I want to.
And so I was slightly starting to get pulled into that game. It's from 2012, and it's just a first-person shooter, but it's like a no respawn. I'm sure anyone who's possibly listening to this probably knows what Counter-Strike is, so I won't go into it too much. But it's actually quite addicting, and I actually had to tell myself to stop playing because it was taking up too much of my time, and I was still terrible. Like I was so bad.
So you kept playing, but you were playing badly.
I was mediocre at best.
Mediocre.
Yeah, and it's just I heard a rumor that as we get older, because I am an older gamer, being the original Frostbite, I used to be the only Frostbite, not the only, but it was just Frostbite, and now that game name's taken because we're so much older now, and I heard as you get older, you lose those reflexes. And that's a terrible thing to realize when you're playing and you're just not as quick anymore.
You don't have the same response time.
Yeah. I think we're still good, but not not maybe with each other. We could take
Sure.
on each other and stuff. But and that's it. There's an Ultratron PSN game that I kind of stumbled across that was free. That was really fun. It's very arcade-esque. Like, it reminds me of Robotron from the 80s arcade. And
Yeah, I saw that. So is
yeah,
is that like a spin-off? Is that like
it's close.
It's close?
It's obvious.
I mean-
It's not a spin-off, but you could see. I think it was inspired by Robotron.
Yeah,
and
Robotron's
that
a great
style.
game.
Yeah, so
great game?
I do actually suggest that if you guys are PlayStation Network users and you can see that. I'd even pay $5 for it, to be honest with you.
I'd
And
pay
it's
it,
from
'cause
2007 or something like that. So
yeah,
check it out. But that's really it for, I guess, the games. We kind of went on a little bit longer. That might have been our whole show.
No, there is a new game at the. So I'm a patron of the Galloping Ghost Arcade. It's probably the largest arcade in America, waiting to be certified by Guinness. And every Monday it's called Mystery Monday. They add a new game, new arcade game every Monday. And this week was the 540th game at the arcade.
Wow.
That's 540 games. And this week they got the game. It's called Kangaroo. Do you remember Kangaroo?
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember Kangaroo?
I cannot believe you just said that.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
Here, now let me ask you this though.
Wow.
Do you remember? Not only do you remember the game,
Man, that took me back.
do you remember the cartoon?
No,
There
no,
was
I
a
did not
cartoon.
remember the
So back in
cartoon.
so
What
we-
came first?
So I think they're both at the same time. So back in 83, 84 on CBS, there was actually a bunch of they had Qbert had its own cartoon.
Yeah, I remember Qbert and Pac-Man.
Pac-Man and Kangaroo and Space Ace.
Wow, Kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
that
Do you
cartoon.
so Kangaroo? That is a really I was captivated. I was watching. So every Monday, like I said, they have a competition to see who can get the highest score. So they announce the game at 5, and then whoever's got the highest game at 2 a.m. when they close is the winner for the day, for that week's Mystery Monday game.
They get a prize if they do.
They get a
that?
trophy. They usually have
that's
small trophy that
Yeah,
you get.
'cause they know that score's gonna get demolished.
Yeah, so that is that, and so I played it at the expo that I went to a couple weeks ago over in Rosemont, Illinois, and I guess as a gift for Galloping Ghost, because Galloping Ghost donated 50 games for people to play at the expo, and so as a gift they gave them this game.
Oh, wow.
They gave them as a gift. They gave him a nice little plaque for being a part of it and the game.
That's cool.
So Kangaroo, that game is unforgiving. I mean, you miss
Yeah, that's the Kangaroo with boxing gloves
it's
and monkeys throwing
pink,
apples, right?
It's monkeys it's monkeys throwing apples.
You're a kangaroo.
You're the kangaroo, and it's basically it's a Donkey Kong knockoff. So you start at the bottom of the screen, you gotta get all the way to the top, and you got like you said, you got monkeys throwing apples at you. You got this giant gorilla that would show up and take away your boxing gloves, and then you can't. He takes away your gloves away. When you get further in the game, he takes away your gloves. So at the end, the way it works is it's got 4 stages, and you keep going all the way, and they're different. And then every 4 stages, they add a different. The monkeys will throw from below, or they'll throw from the side, or
and then it just repeats.
It repeats, but it gets harder and harder.
Sure.
And you got the apples being thrown at your head. You can jump. If anyone's got, I would highly recommend playing it. Yeah,
I can hear the audio.
Yeah, did you play that when you were?
Yeah, I don't remember when, but I mean, it was so young.
I remember playing it at a bowling alley.
Yeah, that probably was. That's where video games were at back in the day.
Yeah, that was a Kangaroo.
Yeah.
If anyone has a chance on MAME, I highly recommend playing it.
Yeah, I think
that's
I
a great game.
do have it.
Do you have it? We're gonna play it. We need to play that soon.
Yeah, we'll do an upload of Mark and I trying to get our highest
score on Kangaroo.
Yes,
that is a great game. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so that's 540 games at this arcade now. It's crazy. I talked to the owner at the expo, and I guess they've got 120 games sitting in the back, and every Monday since last November they have been adding games. So when you go to this place, so many games, a lot to do.
Yes.
And I don't know where they come up. I don't know where they're going to come up with space, but they're masters at finding space.
And they are not a paid sponsor, but Mark stumbled across. I'll edit out that. Forrest stumbled
Why
across.
you call me Mark Forrest? What the?
Okay.
This could be the only episode, Rich.
It
Who
could
knows?
be.
Who
All right,
knows?
Stop saying my name. Just kidding.
It's cool.
So he stumbled across Galloping Ghost last year sometime, or even last year, and as soon as he found it, he came running into work and said, "You guys got to check this out." So him and buddy Def DC went with us on a Thursday or Wednesday. Actually, 420, which I think
we went on 420.
Yeah, yes, we know what it means, and yes, I would love to partake, but we are not in a legalized state at this point. But I would really like to suggest, if it's a weekday and it's a 420, we need to make an annual trip to go to Galloping Ghost.
Oh, sure.
But Def DC and I walked in behind Mark after he had already been there and experienced
I blew your mind, didn't it?
Yeah, it didn't blow it as much as he was excited that we were there, but it's just amazing. There's so many cabinets and there's so many games that you have not seen for decades. And it's not for everyone. Like, if you're not in arcades, then don't go there.
If you're not in the arcades,
but if you are and you're in the Chicago area, you probably already know about it. Or even if you're 2 to 3 hours away from, what city is that? Schaumburg?
It's in Brookfield.
Brookfield.
It's in Brookfield, Illinois.
Definitely give it a shot. $15, game all day. You can look at the hours. Go to their Facebook page. I'll even link it. Again, it's not a paid sponsor or anything like that. It's something that I would hate to see disappear because people don't know about it.
Yeah.
And we lived, just a few hours away and had no idea that this thing even existed.
It's been there for 6 years now, and it's really taken off as far as the number of games.
Yeah.
I mean, they've expanded a few times, and they got a nice little community of gamers playing the games every week. I enjoy being there. And then in the Chicago area, you got that arcade. There's Underground Retrocade in West Dundee. I need to go that one because they got a Fix It Felix Junior cabinet from Wreck-It. No, it's real from Wreck-It Ralph. They actually have a cabinet.
Oh, did they create a new game called Wreck-It Ralph?
No, it's Fix It Felix.
Yeah, I know, but
right.
it's but that wasn't a real game in the 80s.
It wasn't a real game. They created it. They actually have a cabinet.
I would love to play that.
They have a Fix It Felix.
Oh.
Yeah. So I
does it have the characters, the actors' voices in it at all? Or is it just all digital? Or not digital, analog?
It has the voices from the game, and if you remember from the movie, some of the sound effects, like I'm going to wreck it, it's got that in there, and it plays like the kid playing it.
Hell yeah,
so
I'm gonna look for that.
There's a world record for it. There's a world record for it.
It's an arcade game.
And they have it. It's the only one I know that has it. So there was a guy on YouTube that actually played it for 5 hours, and he actually kill screened it.
5 hours.
5 hours.
5 hours.
5 hours. He kill screened it. I can't remember his score, but you got that arcade, and there's a new one called Pixel Creek, I think is called, and it's over in Lisle, Illinois. So Illinois is becoming my new hotspot for arcades. Kalamazoo, not as much. Classic arcade, not as.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about.
We won't talk about that as much. Probably shouldn't, but it's a good one as well. It's a decent one if you're a half hour away. If you're half hour away, it's not worth the trip. Definitely the arcades.
It is worth the trip for 30 minutes.
For 30 minutes,
we drove an hour and
Illinois
a half.
ones.
Yeah. So, anyways,
enough of that.
On to the next.
So news. So gaming news.
Yeah.
What did you want? There's two things I wanted to talk about. You pick. I'll talk about it. You pick it up.
I didn't do my homework because it's been a busy week.
Guy.
Week, but something that caught my attention, and I'm sure other people have noticed, is just the Apple, iTunes, Nintendo contract. Who knows what it is? Agreement is maybe a good word. So without knowing anything, I'm just going to say, man, I feel like Sony or Microsoft either missed the boat or didn't get an opportunity, or Apple just has a crap ton more money to throw at this. Because could you imagine, and this is not a new, mind-blowing idea at all, but man, could you imagine playing Super Mario games or Super NES games on a PlayStation or an Xbox? That would be amazing. And to me, a console would be fantastic. Sure, we can emulate it on a PC. Yeah. But it would just be so cool, which I do, and I enjoy it. My daughter plays, of all the Super NES games that she could play, she chooses Barbie games. And they're absolutely horrible. Anyways, so, man, just now that Nintendo has went with Apple, to me it's a little disheartening, only because I'm not a smartphone user, and I know I'm a rarity. I mean, I have a smartphone, but I don't use it for anything but calling and texting and maybe checking Facebook. So the idea of playing Super Mario and Zelda and stuff on an iPhone just makes me sick to my stomach, and I'm not a fan of that at all. But that's just my gut reaction to when I heard it. How great it could have been on Xbox One. And that's a crazy thing, because I'm not an exclusive fanboy for any game, but I am a PlayStation fan because of how bad the Xbox 360 was, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
I honestly, if Microsoft had signed up, sure, I have a computer, so I probably wouldn't have had to do it. But if I could only play Super Mario Brothers games on an Xbox One, I would try to find an Xbox One. I mean, I would go buy a console for that purpose, but I'm not going to buy a smartphone, because I think that's the worst gaming ever created on the face of the earth.
Right.
So that's my quick, uninformed take.
Here's
That'd be a good topic. Uninformed take.
Uninformed take. Oh God. So here's
talking out of our asses.
So here's my take on it. So to really understand what Nintendo's doing, you got to go back to Video Game Crash in 1982, 1981. You got to remember when there was an oversaturation of all these video games in the marketplace. Activision was the first company that walked away from Atari, because they weren't getting their props. They wouldn't put their names in the credits or anything, so they walked away from it. So I think with the Video Game Crash, you had all these people making knockoff Atari games, and then you had system after system come out, and then there was an oversaturation market, and you had the Video Game Crash. And then Nintendo came along and pretty much saved in 1984, 85. I mean, they weren't even allowed to call it a console. They had to call it an entertainment system. They had the Rob the Robot. So one of the things Nintendo did was, and to avoid another crash, is everything had to be licensed by Nintendo. Everything had to say Nintendo had control over all their stuff. So if you wanted to so they dictated. If you were going to make a game, okay, so if you were a third party, if you were Capcom, if you were Konami, Taito, whatever company you were, they were going to dictate when your game came out, and if your game got made at all, who produced it, and they also, they told you when you were going to release it, so they had total control over all the software. So fast forward to this. And that's how Nintendo's always been. Nintendo's always kept things close to the vest. They've kept things close to them. They've kept Game Boy, the Wii and the Wii U. Everything's been close. They're very, very, very picky on how they attribute the third party part of it, and how they give control of it, and giving up the license, the Mario license to. I think it's a great idea. I think you got these franchises, and as long as you got the game developers still involved in the games, and you're not taking the game developers out of the equation, and you're not letting Microsoft dictate what goes on it, and you're letting Nintendo do its own thing, then I think it's fine. I think this Mario Go the Mario Go thing could be a good thing.
I don't know. Mario Go is.
That's the name of the game. That's called Super Mario Go. That's the name of the game they announced.
Oh, so it wasn't just them porting.
No, this is a new game called Super Mario Go. Yeah. Shigeru Miyamoto. He's the father of Zelda, Mario, all those games. So I think it's cool that we're going to see it on another system, because
it's not. You're referring to an iPhone as a system.
Platform. System. Okay, we'll call it a platform.
Yeah.
and it's been on other platforms
other
like
Wii's, other Nintendo products.
no,
sure.
but like a Philips. Remember the Philips CDI back in the day?
We don't count that.
Well, it was but it was there.
Yeah,
It was there.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and look how poorly
that came
did.
out badly.
Look how
okay.
bad that was. So
yes, that came
Apple's
out bad.
Probably gonna go
so
bankrupt now.
as long as those guys at Apple leave the folks in Nintendo alone and let them make their own game and give them total control over the app, then I think it's a good thing. Now, if they come in and say, I don't even know the owner, who's the owner of Apple now? Is it Tim Cook or it's not?
I think it's
Tim Cook or some guy.
I think it's Bill. Bill Nintendo.
As long as they don't interfere with it, I think it's gonna come out good. But Microsoft is not Microsoft, but Nintendo's been struggling. Their stock has been taking a hit. The Wii U wasn't as popular as people thought it was, as the Wii was. So I think it's cool they're taking this. I think it's cool. I think they have to take a risk. Yeah, they have to take a risk. It's time.
It is.
It's time for Nintendo to take a risk and get away from license. Let them try something else. Not let's take Mario. Let's take Donkey Kong. Let's get it off there. Let's get it off the plate. And let's see what happens.
I think I have to interrupt you just for a second.
Sure, that's cool.
I think it's even to me it didn't even have to be that. It didn't have to be a risk. It's not because there are 40 million PlayStation 4s out there. I don't know how many iPhones are out there. I don't. And if you people in the comments want to say there's this many, and then we'll compare what PlayStation 4 sales are. But we'll say 40 million sales of PlayStation 4 already out there in the hands. I'll say that there's only 20 million Apple iPhones, just for example's sake. I'm sure it's a lot more. Maybe there's a ton more. But for someone who doesn't have either one of those, PlayStation 4 or an iPhone's like $700 or something like that. A PS4's gonna be $300 soon. Why wouldn't you go with the platform that is more affordable to people, so you can get it out to more people? And maybe that's where my number of iPhones is really underestimated.
I think
maybe it's like 100 million.
I can't remember. I think it was in the billion range. I can't.
Oh my gosh, I was way off then.
Yeah, they actually gave a range in the. I think at the Apple Apple briefing. The Apple briefing, they did throw out a number of how many iPhones are out there, but not everybody's gonna play.
Can't be over a billion phones.
I can't remember. I'm throwing
like
out there.
Of the world.
I don't even know. I think it was. And see,
wait,
Apple.
How many people are in the world?
And see,
7.8 billion,
Apple, Microsoft, Sony are always inflate their numbers. So, so you can't go off that.
I think from a price point of the platform itself, they could have chose a more affordable entry level spot for people who don't have that, if it's a selling point for them. For the people who have iPhones and who love Nintendo, I'm happy.
This is cool.
I mean,
it's cool.
It's
cool
for
thing.
them. I totally understand. I don't want to, make anyone angry, but if you're gaming on an iPhone, stop and get a PC
what are you doing?
or a console, because you could get a great PC for $700.
Fire up MAME or fire up something else or play. There's other ways you can get your gaming than in a phone.
Yeah, and it's absolutely the worst.
Right.
And I shouldn't bash people, but I just can't get it. It's so
I think it's great.
Sure, it's convenient if you're on a train or something like that, but I was never a Game Boy fan or DS fan or anything like that. It's just I'm not. It's not comfortable for me to look down. I like to look straight ahead, sitting back or crouched forward with the controller in my hand, gaming. So,
it's a cultural thing too, because in the '80s, we followed. I mean, as far as Atari was an American company, Nintendo was a Japan company. So Nintendo took over in the '80s with their Nintendo.
They took over video games.
And I think Nintendo's
for 15 years
they
until N64, I think they started dropping off. But
as soon as Sony released the PlayStation, as soon as the Sony and Microsoft, and because remember there was supposed to be an add-on for the Super Nintendo for the CD-ROM, as soon as that fell through, and then Sony released the original PlayStation, it was over for Nintendo. I think the beginning, Nintendo's downwards until the Wii came out, and then it went up again, and now it went down again, up and down. Okay. So I think it's gonna be a cool thing. We'll see how the game plays out. I think we'll see what happens.
They need to offer more than just a new Mario game, and maybe
it's gonna take more than a Mario game. And they keep talking about.
I think I don't know if they're planning on re-releasing stuff. To me, that would be it's such easy.
Well, it worked out for
easy
Sega.
money.
Remember Sega? I mean,
Yeah.
you had the Dreamcast, the Sega Genesis, the Master System,
Mm-hmm.
and they took a risk. They have some, you can play Sonic anywhere you want. I can play Sonic on my Xbox. You can play Sonic anywhere.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And maybe that's the entryway to get Nintendo on other platforms.
I mean, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to
and
see.
maybe I just need to look at it as it's a crack in that, not a crack that I want Nintendo to fail, because I don't, but I want to be able to play their stuff without playing a subpar system. The Wii, I bought it, for my kids used. After the novelty wears off, I get it how it got casual people, but anyone else, nah. The Wii U, I'd love to play some of those games.
Right.
But I'm not gonna spend whatever it is, $150, $200 for it, until I can get like 10 games for $50.
Yeah, that was the deal thing for me, was the Mario Maker. That's what made me bought a Wii U, and I play it the most, and I enjoy it. I play Mario Kart. It came with Mario Kart, but I play Mario Maker the most out of all the games. I mean, I have NES Remix. I have 3 games for it, and that's what. I mean, for me, for what my kids get out of it, it's enough. I mean, it warrants the value for me.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to play the latest Zelda. Everyone's raving on that. It's not out yet. I don't even know what it's called. But, at this point, do you wait for the NX to come out?
See, and I don't. And they keep talking March, and they haven't. And they missed the boat at E3. They didn't really talk about the system at all. They didn't. There's been bits and pieces of leak things as far as patents and stuff, but. I think the real way for them to go is make games for other systems. Get away. I think we're at a turning point now where I think they should get away from doing consoles and start franchising this stuff out. Let Nintendo still have the control that they want. They from the 80s. Let them have the control. Let them make the games, but put it on other systems. Put it on PS4. Put it on PC. It'd be cool playing on PC. Can you imagine playing Mario on a PC? I mean, it would feel really, really weird, but
I already do with emulators.
Emulators, but still, I mean, come on, you would go and you get it. Can you imagine picking up Super Mario on Steam?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be kind of weird. But I mean, I think if they would, you would get better graphics out of the games, maybe.
Yeah.
It's more of an opportunity for them. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. We'll see. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you said that you had another news.
So, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, and PlayStation 4 Slim. What are you thinking about that?
Oh man, I didn't think you were gonna throw this one in.
I read the news.
I'm not a fan of either of these new consoles.
I think it's a bad idea, don't you?
Having upgrades 2 years, 3 years into their life cycle, it alienates the people who bought it first. And I don't know if it's. I don't understand the idea of. I know it's to make their console better, and more powerful than the other one. And I'm sure some people are getting super excited because it's like console wars all over again. We're not talking about.
Yeah, a little
bit. We're not talking about bits anymore. Now we're talking about processor and storage space. We're
fighting over teraflops now, and
the games on PS4 to me look fine. I mean, we're gonna get to the point where unless you can't get any better looking. I mean, it's not possible. So all you're really doing, in my opinion, is decreasing load times, and maybe they realize there's flaws in their hardware and they're fixing that. But to me, I'm not on board with it at all, especially. If it's going to be more or the Slims, I don't care about those. I never bought a Slim version of anything in my life because it's never. I already have the console, and I'm not going to buy a cheaper priced version. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather have the the normal quality, regular price console. But to get things that are beefier, I mean, if we're going to do this, just let's all move to PC gaming. Get a new video card every 2 years.
Yeah, that's what's it's turning closer and closer to that.
I'm sure the PC gamers like, haha, here you go. But that was the niceness of the console. And sure, we're not forced by any means, but there's going to be a time when they get to PS Plus Plus or whatever Neo 2, whatever you
God,
want to
who
call
knows
it,
what they're gonna call it?
that the original PS4 is going to be like a 4-year-old PC, 5-year-old PC,
Right.
and they are going to stop. They're saying they're not, but they will absolutely
Sure.
stop making games for it, and just do it how we've been used to it. Give us not 5 years is little, 7 to 10 years of something we've forked down $400 for, last 10 years, and then I'll buy another one. And I guess it would be different if these renditions, these newer ones were, maybe cheaper, but they're not going to be. They're going to drop the original PS4, maybe down to $199, and then people who don't have a PS4, that's a great deal for them. But then instantly you're going to have a whole group of people who are going to feel out of date, And
Yeah,
some people don't care about that, and it doesn't bother me from the spec aspect. It's just the idea of it's just irritating to me.
Well, I think it's always come from the consoles have. You can go all the way back again. This is typically what I do is I go back and look at history. If you go back and look at the Atari games, I mean, when you would buy an Atari 2600 game, it's like here's the Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man, all right?
Horrible.
And then here's the arcade version of Pac-Man.
Amazing.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so so if you look, the arcade games would always outshine. They would always outshine the console games, and then as we progress through the years, the console games would be better than the PC game,
Right.
and then
Oh man!
and you
just said it.
I did.
Oh no!
But
At
now
there was a small part where consoles
now
were good, but not PCs.
but now you're getting to a point where the PCs are superior in graphics
Yeah, they have
and
been
processing for a while. Yeah, they've so picking up.
PCs are just more expensive, but they're
Right,
getting
and the
better.
consoles that you get the conveniences. I just push the button and I play
Yeah,
with
it
a
works.
joystick and it
Yeah,
just works.
everything
And I don't
works.
worry
Yeah,
about it.
convenience, yeah.
So I think it's as far as PlayStation Pro, I don't think they're doing enough with it to warrant a Pro version of it for this year. I think Microsoft is going about it the right way, and by releasing Now you laugh, you laugh at me.
It's the same thing.
Well, Scorpio's gonna be. They're gonna do more. I don't know what
But
specs of
still-
Scorpio's gonna be.
It's still
I don't know.
an upgrade from a
But
console
we don't know
that
yet.
they just did 2.5
This
years
is
ago,
true.
and then realized, oh crap, Xbox One sucks. So we have to do Xbox Scorpio.
Well,
or
Sony,
whatever.
same thing. Oh,
Well, and I was just about ready to jump in to say the only redeeming thing about the it's Neo. You keep throwing me
Neo.
off whatever you're saying.
It's called PlayStation 4 Pro. That's what they're
I
calling
thought it was
it.
Neo.
Nope.
Oh, is it Pro? Okay.
It's called Pro.
Well, I'm gonna call it the Neo because they always have such cooler names in development than they do when they release.
Yeah,
Anyways,
they do. I agree.
Is for VR. If they're doing this not to keep original PS4 users out of the VR market, but if they can bundle it, to give you a slightly beefier one, because currently if you get PS4 VR, you have to get like an uplink box or something that comes out of the PS4 into the VR and then to your TV or something like that, and that's just more junk that you have to connect, which is very annoying. I did hear, and I think it's confirmed, that because of the better video quality that the PS4 Neo will have, you no longer need that box. And they're talking about possibly a bundle with the VR
Well, that'd be
headset. So if you can get that for like $600, and because they're targeting the VR thing, that's a little more forgivable. It's still annoying. For the people who own a PS4, currently, but that's the only saving thing, if that's the plan. If they're doing it for no reason to do it with the VR, then piss off to both companies.
Well, then you got 4K gaming coming into the scene now, where
4K
because
TV.
well, and that's another thing too. You're gonna start. I think in the next year and a half, or even.
Yeah,
probably.
So then let's wait.
They are.
No, well, so then we're
They
4.5 years in. Like,
it's
just
frustrating.
greedy. Yeah,
It's frustrating what they're doing, because eventually, because from what I've read, the PlayStation 4 Pro is going to have
Neo.
not Neo, whatever. It's supposed to it's supposed to be 4K, allow 4K enabled games, and I guess like the HDR is going to be for. And if you own a PlayStation 4, you can upgrade the firmware so it'll play HDR games.
I don't know what's HDR.
But HDR is, I haven't done a lot of research on it, but it's in collaboration. It's supposed to make the. I don't know a lot about it. I'm just gonna say that.
So there you have HDR.
HDR, 4K, sharp, better
future technology.
better picture quality. I think is what they're aiming towards now. So I think
not quite 4K. Like HDR.
So
is not 4K.
HDR is something. I think it's the lighting effect or the darkness.
Okay.
It's a way of seeing. It's a little bit of clarity. So all the PS4 games are going to be HDR. So what you're seeing is when you go buy a new TV now, is you're seeing 4K. You're seeing 4K. You're seeing HDR. You're seeing 3D still. And Sony's putting this out. LG. All that. So eventually you're going to see more and more 4K. It's kind of how we went from 720p
1080
to 1080p, and so we're going from 1080p now
to HDR,
HDR,
and
4K television.
Okay. All right.
So I think what you're going to see,
and that's great,
and that's what they want, and that's
4K
what
TVs are $500, but they're not. They're like, I mean,
they're going to come down. They're going to come down.
Yeah.
So the technology is going to be there. The consoles are going to be there.
Sure.
So we'll just see what happens with that. I think Sony should wait. I think what they should do is not release a pro version. Keep it as a slim model. What Microsoft is doing. Keep it as a slim model.
Slims do not bother me.
Keep it as a slim model.
A more affordable option.
Microsoft has the Xbox One S. Call it the PlayStation 4S, whatever. Give people the 4K ability, HDR ability, and then next Christmas, you got then PlayStation can say, okay, we're
2020.
2000 whatever, and then they can have their HDR 4K consoles, and we'll just. That's how they should be doing it. I think Microsoft is doing it right. I think Sony's doing it wrong, and maybe someone's gonna be right, someone's gonna be wrong. We'll just roll with it. We'll see what happens from there. But craziness, definitely crazy.
So I guess, unless you have anything off the top of your head that you wanted to talk about.
No, I think that's it. I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to next week.
Oh yeah,
level next week. I'm just plugging this. It's I'll plug what the hell. It's over at level 257.
You guys cannot tell. Forrest here is an arcade nut.
I enjoy arcades. I enjoy arcades. Galaga 35 event is going on at level 257 in Schaumburg, Illinois. It starts at 7:00. I'm gonna get there probably around that, maybe earlier, and do some practicing on some games. But yeah, it should be a good time. They're gonna be having a contest for a Galaga cabinet, so that'll be kind of cool. See whoever gets the highest score on a Galaga machine. I guess it's called Galaga Battle Royale. Now I have not played Battle Royale. I have played Pac-Man Battle Royale. Pac-Man Battle Royale is a 4-player. They actually have like a 160-inch screen, and they have 4.
That's at level 57.
This is at level 57.
Right? Yeah.
Actually, I have played Battle Royale. There's a small version of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a small version of it does exist.
Okay.
I've never seen it anywhere else other than at level 57 and at an arcade. But it's supposed to be on a big screen, and whoever gets the highest score gets a Galaga cabinet. And I am dying to win a Galaga or own a Galaga cabinet. That's my dream, is to have a Galaga cabinet. I enjoy the game. I play it probably several hours a week. I play it way too much, and I'm hoping to win one. We'll see what happens. Hoping to compete, at least be able to compete. I think it's gonna be fun to get to play in the same room, and just to celebrate an awesome game. I think the first time I played Galaga, I was a kid. It was my dad's favorite game. My dad enjoyed it a lot, and I don't know if you remember it. It was. I think the first time it was featured in a movie was in the movie War Games, 1982 War Games with Matthew.
I really enjoy War Games.
Matthew Broderick, Ali Sheedy. There's a clip in the early in the film where he's in an arcade, I think in a pizza parlor, and he's playing Galaga. Matthew Broderick's character is playing Galaga, and from what I've read online on Internet Movie Database, is that they actually sent him a Galaga machine to practice on before the movie started. So he actually played it. So they actually sent one to his house so he could practice and get good at it, I guess. He was terrible at it in the movie. If you watch it, he wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Didn't pay off. But
there's that 2-second clip where it showed the game.
Sure. So there's been several iterations of Galaga. Galaga 88, which is a great, if you have a chance to play it, another great game. It's actually a sequel, Galaxian. Galaxian's a terrible game. I think it's a terrible game. If you find that game, stay away. It's too slow. It's more or less Space Invaders amped up a little bit. But next week I'll be going to that. I'm looking forward to another Mystery Monday game at the Galloping Ghost Arcade. Now, one thing we didn't talk about, we may have to talk about next time, is Gears of War 4.
Yes.
October 7th. Gears of War 4. I am super hyped for that game. Very excited. Gonna be playing that when it comes out, when it drops, October 7th. And looking forward to playing some more arcade games at home on MAME. Can't really think of anything else I'm playing at the moment. Probably get more tortured in Mario Maker, and I don't know. That's pretty much what I'm playing right now.
So you said you're going to level 257.
Level 257
this Friday in Schaumburg.
No, actually, it is next Friday, September 23rd.
Yeah, September 23rd.
Yeah.
So those of you who are in the area, maybe you want to stop in and support level 257. I don't remember if Mark mentioned it or not, but it's like a Pac-Man themed arcade restaurant. That's really cool.
Very
they
cool.
do all these different things. Again, we are not a paid advertisement, but if you guys
these are things that I enjoy.
Yeah. So maybe you guys will see him out there next Friday, and you can get his autograph.
God!
You don't know who he is.
Oh God!
You can't see us.
You might hear my voice or something. Who knows?
So with that, we're just gonna go and end our first introductory
podcast.
Prime time. That's not the word. Podcast.
First one ever.
One ever, and we'll just end it there. And if we find it went well, again, we'll try to do it weekly. As always, if you enjoyed the podcast or any other of the videos,
like and favorite, please.
Please hit that subscribe button in the lower right hand corner.
Like and favorite us.
And you can even thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Even if you have some good criticism, don't just get on there and say, "Hey, douchebag, you suck." I mean, you can, but I'll just call you a douchebag back, and we'll just call douchebags each other for an hour.
There you go. That's what we'll do.
But as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And, we hope to do a few more of these in the future.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Yeah, definitely.
Take it easy.
All right, take care. See ya.